Hello, my name is Babette and I'm a registered nurse. I'll be presenting today on overcoming some of the challenges faced by the breastfeeding dyad experiencing mastitis with Down syndrome. My target audience is a postpartum mom that I'll be providing relationship-based care during a public health home visit. I will be applying the clinical decision-making framework as a tool to describe how I will provide support and care for the dyad in the case study I've prepared. Case study. Esther is a G3 T3 L3 who is postpartum day 6 at home. She phoned the health unit requesting a home visit today for breastfeeding support and sounded somewhat distressed, saying, "I feel like I have the flu, but I'm probably just overtired. Plus, I'm losing confidence in my ability to breastfeed." At 38 weeks, she recently had an SVD, giving birth to her first daughter, Abigail, who has Down syndrome. Esther has 2 sons, aged 3 and 5, who she successfully breastfed for 20 and 16 months, respectively. Esther doesn't understand why Abigail isn't breastfeeding the way her boys did, and that Abigail is still so sleepy and tired with feeds and has trouble maintaining a latch at the breast. Within an hour of the phone call, RN Babette is on her way to provide the home visit. Throughout this video, I will briefly outline the clinical tool components, knowledge, cues, judgment, decisions, and evaluation as they relate to this case study. Knowledge. Mastitis is an inflammation of the breast that is usually caused by infection associated with milk stasis, sore and cracked nipples, stress, fatigue, and ineffective emptying of the breast. Down syndrome is a congenital abnormality that is usually not an inherited condition, and the affected baby has additional genetic material in their cells that is either full or partial copy of chromosome number 21. The exact cause of why this occurs is unknown. It is the most common chromosomal disorder resulting in cognitive and developmental disability. Down syndrome babies are far more at risk for infections and gastrointestinal issues. Neonates with Down syndrome usually have hypotonia, sleepiness, tongue thrusting, and struggle with sucking, breathing, and swallowing coordination, which may contribute to breastfeeding challenges. Good morning, Esther. My name's Babette. I'm the public health nurse here to provide breastfeeding support.
Great. Thanks for coming. Come on in.
Congratulations with your daughter, Abigail.
Yes, thank you.
She sure is adorable.
Yes, I think so.
Now, Esther, you mentioned over the phone that you were feeling like you had the flu?
Yeah, it came on so suddenly. I thought it was the flu at first, the typical fever, chills, aching, headache. But then I noticed my right breast really hurt, so I don't know.
Did you notice some redness on it, or was it a bit hot?
A little bit on the outer part.
Okay.
Yep,
Okay.
yep.
Anyway, come on in.
Okay.
Have a seat. Sorry for these awful carpets.
Thank you.
Oh, so achy. Esther, if it's okay with you, may I have a look?
Yes.
Yes, Esther, it looks like you have the early stages of mastitis. We will review the treatment for that, and I would also recommend you calling your family doctor in case you need antibiotics. She can prescribe that. And Esther, how has breastfeeding been going with Abigail? Judgment. What is needed now is a full feeding assessment and history, frequency and duration of feeds, position, latch, output, measured with diapers, content, satisfied baby, weight loss, weight gain pattern, and crying pattern. Priorities of care. Number 1 is move the milk. Number 2, feed the infant with the dancer hold position to achieve an effective latch. And number 3, treatment of mastitis.
Not good at all. It was just so easy with my boys, and I've been so discouraged. People are telling me I can't breastfeed a baby with Down syndrome, and now it just seems to be becoming true. I haven't been breastfeeding her from my right breast as I wasn't sure what the redness is. Don't know if it's safe for her. I don't even know what mastitis is.
Oh, Esther, with persistence in time, you are able to breastfeed Abigail. You're protecting her from infection and bowel problems that sometimes Down syndrome babies have. And the sucking action gives added stimulation to improve her mouth and tongue coordination and strengthen her lip, tongue, and face muscles and toning. It will help her later with her speech and language development. It's important to properly empty your right breast so that the milk ducts get unplugged and the milk goes to Abigail. With mastitis, it's really important to keep on breastfeeding. And I see she's hungry. If possible, why don't you start her now on the right breast, because it is safe for you to feed her on that side. Down syndrome babies need extra support, and we want to make sure that Abigail and you are comfortable. By keeping Abigail well supported, she can use more energy for sucking and growing instead of using her energy to keep her position with feeding. A position that works really well in a feeding Down syndrome baby is called the dancer hand position. I love the name because the action describes what you're going to do. So if it's okay, I'm going to show you that. So you slide your hand under your breast, forming a C shape, 3 fingers, then you use your forefinger and your thumb, and you hold your forefinger on one cheek and her thumb on the other, and you support Abigail's chin and jaw. That looks really good, Esther.
Thank you.
This helps Abigail to press the nipple and the areola between her gums, enabling her to get as much breast tissue in her mouth as possible and allowing for better milk transfer. Esther, you also mentioned that Abigail is quite sleepy and tired when she feeds. A suggestion I have is to try to dim the room when you're feeding her. That way she doesn't have to close her eyes because she wants to keep the light out of her eyes. You can also try a cool cloth to keep her awake. And Esther, what you're doing is lots of skin to skin, which is wonderful for bonding, also for good milk production, and also for her development. So well done.
I was feeling stressed and anxious and discouraged to feed Abigail, and I feel great now. I feel confident. I'm going to keep breastfeeding her on both of my breasts, and I'm going to make an appointment with my family doctor as you suggested. So thank you for that. I would like to know how else I can treat mastitis.
That's an excellent question, Esther. So for one, you can begin by applying a cold cloth on your right breast in between feeds. Now I also noticed that you're wearing an underwire bra. This can put too much pressure on your breast, so I would recommend switching to a well-fitting cotton bra. You can also take Advil and Tylenol. Now, do you have any allergies?
No.
Are you taking any medications?
Not currently.
Okay, that's good. So Tylenol and Advil will help with the pain and also with the fever. And drink plenty of fluids. See your family doctor as you're going to do. And I hesitate to say this, but also rest. But I know with 3 little ones, that's going to be a challenge.
Yeah, that's for sure. At least my mom lives close by. She's always helping me out. So
Good, good. That's good to hear, Esther. Esther, before I leave, I have a brochure here on a support group in our community for Down syndrome parents you might be interested in, and also a lactation consultant.
great.
I'll be returning in 2 days to come visit you, but if you would like me to come sooner, don't hesitate to call.
Okay, thank you. That's great. Thank you so much for coming and for your support. I feel so much more confident with feeding Abigail now. And look, she stayed latched the entire visit, and I feel comfortable. She feels comfortable. It's great. So thank you.
Well done, Esther. You and Abigail are showing beautiful teamwork as together you find your own unique rhythm to breastfeeding. Evaluation. What did I think of the care I provided? It was client and family centered, with compassion and relational engagement. I looked at the whole clinical picture and addressed priorities of care needed with carefully chosen areas of focus. It was comprehensive within the allotted time frame. It engaged other members of the healthcare team, such as the family doctor, lactation consultant, and a community support group. Esther had regained some confidence and felt supported and cared for. In conclusion, in my case study, I identified the potential concerns with breastfeeding a Down syndrome neonate that could contribute to mastitis. By addressing these challenges with relationship-based care, Esther and Abigail could move forward in their breastfeeding relationship.